Hey, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Travis, and for the last 3 years, I have been swing trading my account from about $150,000 to a little over $1 million today. I don't do anything complex, and I largely rely on moving averages and basic technical analysis. On average, I win 50% of the time, and when I win, I make $2, and when I lose about $1. So a 2 to 1 profit factor. I started this channel to show the entire reality of that process, my process, the wins, the losses, and just the reality of being of trading in general. And today it was a big loss. I don't want this channel to be about my P&L day to day. It's not what I want to show, but I do think that showing that and how someone like me, a professional who does this day in and day out, handles a red day is kind of the most valuable stuff I can share. So here's a look at my entire session. I drop in morning, afternoon, after the close. And if you appreciate this kind of content and transparency, please drop a like, subscribe, hit me with a comment, and support me any way you can. Appreciate it. Let's get into it. All right, gang. Good morning. Travis back with you on another trading day, and it's slow. It's quiet. It's a holiday week. We're not going to have much volume. We did just have GDP, US GDP come in. It's very strong. It was over 4.3% or something. Markets aren't reacting. Um, it's good news, I guess, but you know, obviously there's no recession in sight, despite what people will tell you. But I really don't care about the news. I care about the market's reaction to the news. And right now we're not doing much. Futures are down a little bit in the Nasdaq futures. ES is down slightly, and Russell's down, 0.5, 0.6%. And I tend to watch Nasdaq more because we do trade a lot of tech heavy stuff. But you know, if this comes down and these moving averages roll up and then we get through this, actually, it's very constructive. I wasn't expecting a push through this level, especially during a holiday week, quite yet. So we'll see what Santa has to bring. But right now, we're kind of in a holding pattern. So again, I'm going just to stress, like, I know how it feels. Like, it's the end of the year, things are slow, you want to trade, you want to be involved. The markets are not cooperating. Like, don't push it. Um, Take some time and study, watch charts, watch videos like this. You know, do more education stuff and keep your mind preoccupied so you're not just forcing trades. So not much happening. We'll see how things develop here. Bitcoin is just disappointing yesterday. I thought we were going to finally get that roll up, and it didn't happen. So I'm heavily debating cutting my IBIT exposure completely. Um, we'll see. We'll see, because it hasn't officially broken down yet. So part of me is saying, try to just let the trade work. The other half is saying, hey, this is dead money right now. We have other setups that are interesting that we should be, adding to the book. And what are some of those? I did my prep this morning. I usually do it the night before. I'll show you guys that process at some point. It's tedious. It's boring. It does not make for good video content. But here's my short list going to the short list. I don't mean these are the stocks I want to short. These are stocks that I want to largely trade, whether that is a buy or a sell. All of these I'm looking potential purchases. The most interesting one on this list to me is AbbVie. It's healthcare space, big company. The daily just looks phenomenal. I'll push this so we get the bigger view. I was trading this way back here on this breakout in a long-term portfolio. I no longer have it, but it's just setting up very nicely here. If you kind of look at this whole wedge or triangle, it reminds me a lot of what just happened in not quite, but First Solar. But we're getting really bunched up here, and we're starting to move. But when I look at the 15-minute chart, this is what we're kind of always eyeing, right? The roll up, I call it the turn, where we've moved through the moving averages. The moving averages are starting to go up at that 45-degree angle, all stacked, purely aligned, as I call it. So I am going to look to get involved today. Again, if you put this, you can go all the way back here. That's the line. And we're looking like we want to get through it. And if we do, we should go back to the highs at least. We should go through the highs if this is working properly. It's going to be a slower mover. This is not your quantum play. It's not your garbage crypto play. It's not high beta, right? So we'll stay patient, but um, it's also diversified in terms of if you have a heavy tech portfolio, if you have a lot of crypto stuff, quantum stuff, etc. This is a good one to throw in the mix, and I like doing that right now. SNDK is also another one that opposite end of the spectrum, right? It's been very high beta lately, but it's giving a similar look. Um, and the level I'd watch is 235, which is or kind of right below that in this whole zone. If it can get closer to the 200-day period moving average, and start showing signs of roll up, I'm not as interested in getting involved here in high beta stuff this week specifically. I think there's going to be a lot of chop in this stuff yet, but something like Avi would be, a position I would look to potentially add. And then I have some others that I just don't think are quite ready, but they're close. So I'm keeping an eye on them in case they do set up. UiPath, we're trying to get the roll up here, but that 200 is not quite turning up, and the 50 and the 100 aren't through it yet. So this would be totally jumping the gun. And as much as I would want to do this, and I could easily put a stop 1580 or so, it just doesn't feel right. It feels rushed. Fastly is another on my list. This was one of those COVID darlings that just came tanking down, right, and has based. I tried to play this a couple weeks ago, and it was doing okay, and then they announced a convertible note offering and just kind of crashed the stock. And so for that reason, I'm a little hesitant to pull the trigger. Like, SoFi did something similar. Has it had enough time to work through the system? That's the question. We are getting that 15-minute roll up, and I would like to see the price get a little bit closer to these moving averages so we can just better define our risk, right? Another solar play. I was in this the other week. It's a little extended from the moving averages on the 15-minute chart, but it's a great daily looking chart. It is. It's beautiful. I caught this move literally that day, and then hit my partial, came back down, took me out for break even on the other half, and I haven't got back involved. But this could need more time too. Could need more just chopping around, consolidating. It's been pretty volatile these last couple of days. Solar was up a lot yesterday, so maybe giving this more time to settle. Maybe next week. We showed mRNA yesterday. Really love the daily chart, but I think it needs more time. Snow. Really bad reaction to earnings, even though they were strong. So it doesn't matter what earnings are; it matters how the market reacts. So for that reason, I'm hesitant to get involved, just because the market's giving a signal there. It's not quite right. That said, we're getting a nice roll up on the 15-minute, but not in what I would classify as a daily bull trend yet. I like to see price above the 50-day moving average. It's not there. And that's what these flags are for, guys. When you're seeing these flags, I go through every day. I go through this entire list of hundreds of stocks. And as I said yesterday, I'm working on something to alleviate this time sink for me. But I go through all of these stocks, and I look at the daily chart, and I say, okay, this is an uptrend. I give it a green flag. I say, this is not an uptrend, but it's also not a downtrend. It's a neutral trend. Like, it's a yellow flag. And anything red is getting a bear flag or a bear trend, right? Or anything bear trend gets a red flag. So in an ideal world, I want to be buying stocks and setups that are in bull trends. They have the green flag on the daily chart because it's just a tailwind. And then above that, I'd like to be in a sector that is in a bull trend. So it's just playing down, right? You want as many tailwinds as possible helping you out. So for that reason, I'm hesitant on something like Snow. I'm hesitant on something like Amazon right now because it really isn't quite in a bull trend, right? We really need to see a roll up on these moving averages for me to be more confident in taking position there. Now, Taiwan Semiconductor, TSM, pretty close. The green or the 50-day isn't quite rolling up, but we are above it right now. Even though we were below it, we've recovered it. I still think it needs more time. Let's go sideways for a few days and see what happens. And then finally, we'll talk about Rocket Companies, mortgage company. choppy. It reminds me a lot of kind of Rivian I showed yesterday. It chops a lot, so you have to be careful about your entry. But it's on my radar. 15 minutes trying to roll up. Not quite there yet. So the one I'm really looking at today, Abdi. We're gonna try to get a position there most likely. I'm looking for my risk dashboard. Where did it go? I'll come back with it, guys. I'll pause and I'll come back for market open and show you my risk dashboard, and hopefully we can get a position going in Abby today. So, see you in a second. Okay, guys, we're back here. It just opened. I'm eating some granola, so I don't want to be on too long, but this is why you don't FOMO, okay? I'm going to keep stressing this kind of stuff all the time. CSIQ right now came down, just grabbed the rest of our order that we had in yesterday that didn't get filled, and our second order. So we're in for 2,000 shares right now. Just not a lot, like more, but it's a start. It's a start. And we didn't FOMO in, we didn't chase this. It's looking really good. So I'm going to go back off screen real quick. I'm going to put this order in my other account, make sure I get some there. I don't think I had those orders in. And maybe fill this up a little bit more. I'm going to watch it in detail. I'm not going to bore you guys. I'm going to try to keep this video shorter today and see where that goes, see how you like that. So I just want to check in real quick and show you guys this. Like, just stay patient, all right? Stay patient and be okay missing a trade, because it doesn't matter. In the long run, it will not matter. All right. All right, getting back real quick. Just got an alert. BMNR stopped out. That's great. And I try to like fake celebrate like stops, like yes, I'm stopped out, which is totally counterproductive or counterintuitive. A lot of people are like, oh no, I got stopped out. Here's the reality: the trade wasn't working. Obviously, the market's telling us that. We just freed up a bunch of capital, and we can play other ideas now. So cool. We took a $500 loss on BMNR. So what, right? Yes, it was up like 10 grand at one point. I'm not going to sit here and cry over, what could have been. And we're going to dump IBIT right now too. It's going nowhere. And what this is going to do for us, let's get over here and kill it. What this is going to do for us, first I'll kill my stop. And let's not just go to market. This is very, very liquid. So we are going to just go to market and kill it. All right. Goodbye, IBIT. No longer have, $500,000 tied up. So that's great. We're going to take this off our list. We're going to take it and put it way down here on our section. BMNR, same thing. Bye-bye. Cleaning some house today. And I can pull this up today because I've got my photo in the way of my my account number. So we're down like 15K today. It's not a big deal. Yesterday we were up about 40. So we haven't banked any cash yesterday. But the good news is we're down 15K, which is nothing. Let me correct that. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to me. It's a lot of money to people watching, I'm sure. It's nothing to make light of. However, as a percentage of the account, it is not significant. So it's totally within the risk parameters. And I am distracted right now because I want to go into my other account and make sure I am closing that IBIT as well. This is the the joy of having to trade two separate accounts while recording a video. It's just too much multitasking, but we're getting it done. And make sure I'm out of the BMNR, that stop hit. Yes, it did. Okay, and actually one last thing. I am making sure my IBIT stop loss isn't still in place in case that triggers. Okay, we're good there. Let's go back to CSIQ. We're moving on. We don't care that we just took that stuff. This is why, guys. Look at this. We picked up. We missed that last order. I did take 2,000 more shares when I was off. When I was off camera. We'll leave that there till the end of the day. We got to tighten this or adjust the stop to represent our full quantity. I wish I did have more than 4,000 shares. Of course you do when you're up on a trade immediately, right? But for real, we've got about 4,000. This size exceeds. Yeah. You know, it's about 100K of exposure, which is not a ton, but it's a good start. It's a good start. I would like to see this, you know, consolidate a little bit more. If we do get a little more coiling down here, I'll nibble a little bit more and add to it. But for right now, let's take a look at the risk dashboard. I'm getting ready for a potential AbbVie buy. We can remove, and this is what I mean. We started at like 238 today, and granted, we're down like 15 or something, so that's adjusting itself. But we are out of BMNR now, which is, there was no real much risk there. IBIT was the big one, or a big one. That's gonna move it by 13K. So we're out there. So we're at 205 of potential catastrophic kind of exposure right now, with Reddit being our problem child, right? So let's take a look at Reddit real quick. Do we lighten up? Do we tighten the stop? Do we do something to mitigate some of this risk? And I want to, and this is the battle. I want to, but man, it's looking nice today. But it did this to us yesterday. So I'm gonna have to think on this honestly. This is the struggle, a constant struggle. Does it go up? Your brain, your mind is telling you, don't take profits. But this is also one of my largest positions right now, or the largest position potentially now. Yeah, Twilio might be bigger. Okay. I can scroll here a bit. There's Reddit's second biggest cost basis, 355. Okay, it's not as big as I thought. Zoom, ISRG. We'll give it some time today. We'll give it some time. Let's check on CSIQ. Let's check on AbbVie. We should have a fair amount of, we got a lot of excess liquidity now because we're out of Bitcoin, we're out of BMNR. So that frees up a lot, which I'm stoked about. I am very happy. Okay, AbbVie, I'm going to probably go to market with, we talked about what, 1,200 shares. This is the thing. I'm not 12,000, 1,273. We're going to split that. Let's see. I'm going to get nitty here. 229. Let's do 229.40. All right. And if that comes down, we'll go good to cancel. Outside regular trading. And let that happen. All right. Hopefully happen. Like I said, you guys, it's not my style to chase these moves. I feel like every time, and it's not even a big move, but anytime you're getting like something like this that's pushing, it's like, I don't know. I'd rather just, even if it's a small dip, really right here should be, screw it. Let's bring it even down further. Right here, 229.16, call it. I wanted to get it at 228 was the plan this morning, but I'm gabbing too much. So 229.16. I'm going to enter that also in my other account. AbbVie. What do we do here? 1,200 and 80% of that is 960. We'll call it 950. Well, let's just call it 1,000. 229.16. Okay. All right, that's in. That's about all I want to do. Let's just look through ALB. Looking great today. Remember, at the end of the day yesterday, we moved the stop up pretty aggressively to be within that gap in case that gap fails and gets filled. I don't want to be in it anymore at that point. So that's looking great today. NTR is our ag play, also looking strong. I've got this buy order that got partially filled. It was just kind of still waiting. Hopefully, at this point, it doesn't get filled. I'd like it just keep going at this point. I might as well just cancel this for now. So that's gone. Our first target's up there at 66.33. It's gonna take some time. Reddit, like we just reviewed. Now it's down a little bit. Merck's looking strong-ish today. It's double top kind of look. Could be a concern, but we're just going to keep trailing. And I'll put the 10 and 20 EMAs on here to show you guys excuse me, what I'm looking at. The 20 days should be coming through our stop here soon, and then we can just start kind of moving it up. And if we take a look at the risk dashboard, like I call this the dashboard, that's 16,000 at risk here, which is just into the orange zone. I'll either have to consider taking some off if this keeps moving, or again tightening that stop. Jumia, not doing anything. Palantir teased us yesterday with that target. Oh, wouldn't that be a gift if we got that today, which would help us, again, de-risk a little bit and just bank something. I haven't banked anything with you guys yet, which is rare. Usually every day but we got some stops to hit today. So, yeah, not much else going on. So I'm going to keep an eye on CSIQ. As this tightens up, I might add. But beyond that, we're waiting on AbbVie to maybe pull back. Maybe pull back a little tiny bit and fill us there. We did talk about SNDK. I didn't even check on SoFi today. It's down. We added that late yesterday, which might have been rushed. SNDK could be good. Okay, this could be a good little day trade potentially. We made this dip this morning, a stop below this. Let's try this for a little bit and see if we can't get a runner. So this I will buy. We're breaking out on volume. If I go to market, that's strong. Let's do 1,000. No, 4,000. And I'm going to split this. Is it really that? 242. No, yeah, okay. Oh, it won't let me do it. All right, it's saying I don't have enough excess liquidity, which is interesting. How many shares was I trying to do? Oh yeah, way too many. Okay, way too many. Trade. We do not want 4,000. That's a shit ton. 100, 500. What's 500? No, what am I doing? Sorry, guys. Let's get to USD. Okay, let's do 500 shares. And 22. Yep, let's do that. Let's see if that fills. That fills. All right, I'm going to pause this. Oh, no, I'm going to show you. This is the thing. I'm trying to do too many things. And in the back of my head are you guys and getting bored. But you can always fast forward, right? We did what? 500 shares there. We're going to do 400 on the other account. And we're going to get that stop in. Oh, we're already puking back. But we're going to get that stop back in place right below the 200 period average. Okay, so that's 233.64. We're going to go 233 on the stop. And if it gets below there, this is coming through. If it gets below there, we just want to be out. Stop. Sell 233. Shares all 500. And good till canceled. Okay. That's in. I said I didn't want to be in this high beta stuff today, so I don't want to contradict myself. However, we are down on the 5-minute chart, and I expect this to either work real quick or not. And what's our risk here? 242 to 233. We're talking like $9, so 18 would be 260-ish. Right? If we can bust up, that's where we're going to be taking some off. And I'll get this in the spreadsheet offline, so you guys don't have to watch me do all that. And I'll check in again here in the next hour or two, and just kind of keep trying to show you guys my flow and what I do throughout the day. So see you in a second. All right, gang, I just finished walking my dog, getting some more breakfast and stuff like that. And I wanted to check in real quick just to talk about SanDisk and what happened here. Because if you're going to trade the way I trade, swing trading, not day trading, not where you have to be in front of the charts all the time, my best, not my best advice, one big piece of advice, get away from the charts during the day. And this is a perfect example of why I did not have the greatest entry here on SanDisk. You could argue that I should have waited for this 5-minute candle to close, and if I had, maybe I wouldn't buy, or maybe I would have bought here, or maybe I would have seen this all coming. Lots of maybes, what ifs. The point I'm trying to make is the best thing I did here was I put in a stop loss at a logical level below the 200 period moving average on the time frame I'm taking the trade on, which is the 5-minute chart, and then I walked away. Because if I hadn't, I might have seen this dumping within, what do we come? Very close to the stop loss. We're at 233, and the low here on this candle was 230. Low was 234. So it came within $1. And $1 on a $233 stock is a very small move, right? And the temptation at this point to move your stop loss down, I'll just put it below this low. I'll put this, and then what if it kept dumping? You're going to go to this low and this low. And at what point do you say, you finally capitulate and puke up? So get away from the charts every now and then. Go walk, stretch the legs, play with your kids, play with your dog, kiss your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. I don't know what you do in your spare time, but do it. And just let the trade work. But trust your plan, and let the trade work. So right now, we're coming up. We just had a nice volume candle on the 5 to break through our original price, and what was, this kind of resistance level. And my kid's just screaming in the background. That's nice. Trading from home. And the idea is, hopefully, I'm not expecting it today, but hopefully this is giving us enough juice to get up here and take a partial profit. And then, we play the trail game, which I love to play. That's all I'm going to check in for right now. Everything else is basically pretty red. We are also in the red. Let's see. Can open this okay. Yeah. About 54K, which stinks. It stinks. I don't let it bother me too much. I actually try not to look at unrealized gains and open P&L during the day too much. I really try to just focus on the setups, the positions, managing them properly. I coach 1st and 2nd grade basketball, and I tell these kids they all want to win. They're fixated on the score, and they just, who's winning? What's the score? We don't even keep score. But these kids want to win so bad, and I tell them, I explain to them, I was like, do the things I taught you. Rebound, take shots when you're open, pass the ball, like do the basic things. The score takes care of itself, and we're undefeated this year. So, but my point is just focus on the trades that you have and managing them, and the P&L comes. It just comes. Stop focusing on the P&L. It doesn't matter. So I'll be back in another moment. Okay, guys, I was just scanning through kind of my list and seeing what's interesting out there. I wanted to bring up UiPath again. We talked about it this morning as a potential setup. I put it on my short list. I said, hey, this could be rolling up, but it would be jumping the gun here because the 200 period moving average, it's not moving higher yet, and these haven't crossed over. It's not really meeting my playbook. And sure enough, we dumped. So I'm not trying to result. If you've read Annie Duke's book Resulting, I forget what it's called, or Thinking in Bets maybe. No, that might be another book. Anyway, look up Annie Duke's book. She talks about resulting a lot. I think it is called Thinking in Bets. I'm not trying to result, like basically saying, hey, look, this dumped, so we were good to stay out of it. I did say at the time, like, this is too early. We'd be jumping the gun, and this is kind of confirming that was the right move. So maybe I am resulting, but my point is, this could have been easily avoided. It was easily avoided because we didn't take the trade by simply recognizing this doesn't check all our boxes. Now, if you were impatient, you said, I really like the trade. This is obvious support. Like, that's when you get in trouble. I was like, I'm going to just bend my rules this time. So avoided a mistake by just sticking to our rules, right? And that's really all I wanted to say right now. I'll see you in a minute. I wanted to talk about TAN real quick, which is the solar ETF.
Oh no.
Check, check. All right, back to TAN real quick. I thought my microphone wasn't working there for a second, and I jumped offline and tested it. Sorry, guys. I'm working out the kinks in all this. Bear with me. It'll get better. I wanted to jump to TAN because we are seeing weakness in solar today, like across the board. You see CSIQ came down 8%, basically gave back all of yesterday's attempted move. What else for solar? I haven't looked at for solar yet. Same thing. Wow, what a puke. And honestly, this is a beautiful chart. You know, other than the puke that we just saw. Sedge, same thing. I mean, Sedge didn't even really move yesterday. I took this completely off my watch list because this one is just been kind of frustrating in terms of sector or performing with the sector. Array technology, same thing, right? So a lot of weakness in solar in general. So I want to look at TAN, which is this the big solar ETF. It's been a great trend, and we've had a breakout, as you would suspect. Yesterday was a big gap higher and push on lots of volume, right? So this is just a pullback, and it looks like what's going to end up today is an inside day on low volume. Now, how much of that low volume is attributed to a holiday? Who knows? We'll have to see kind of how this develops. But inside days, this is nothing to be afraid of, is what I'm saying. We are very nicely above the 50, the 100, the 200, trending higher. And the 10 and 20 are breaking up and curling up, right? So, I think a lot of people will look at this and be afraid today, but this is just kind of a natural reaction to what's happening, and we're underwater on our CSIQ buy. It's okay. We're never going to have a perfect entry. I'll tell you what, it's much better than had we FOMO'd in yesterday up here. What do you think would have happened on this reversal today? We panic sell, right? I mean, not we, but most people FOMO in here, puke it up here, and then hopefully we just go higher. This is rolling up. So give it time. I'm not worried about it. If it hits the stop, it hits the stop. We move on, okay? And I guess my point of this little segment was solar is just giving some back from yesterday. That's all. And it's part of the game. It's why we take our time and we try not to chase. Try not to chase, even though we're still underwater. We're still underwater even after trying to stay as disciplined as possible. So we'll see how it all plays out, and I'll be back with more. All right, gang, new trade alert here. Again, I'm just trying to show you my process and what I'm doing throughout the day. So I noticed that, Qs have recovered, SPYs recovered, small caps are down. It's interesting. It just means to me that, what's happening here basically is Mag 7 is carrying this market higher right now and kind of leaving the high beta, smaller cap stuff behind today, at least. And so when you look at mags, the holdings here, Amazon, Google, Nvidia are really carrying this. And these have been on my radar. We talked about Amazon, I think, yesterday, but I have not shortlisted any of them. I looked over at Google, and I really like what's happening. I was in this, where was I in this before? On this initial run, I got a lot of this move. Tried to nab this move a couple times and got chopped a little bit. So we're finally rolling up after some consolidation. And my experience with these larger cap Mag 7 names is when they start making this turn like this, they often, there's a big delta here between the 200 and the current price. However, my experience is a lot of times these don't come and kind of close that. And you can kind of see that happening in Nvidia today, where we rolled up here and we just kept going sideways consolidation, up, sideways consolidation. So I think in a lot of these instances, it doesn't make a lot of sense to hope that we're going to get that retracement, and that I would often look for in smaller cap stocks. So I took 1,000 shares here, And I know that sounds like that's a lot. Yeah, it's 300K. I'm on portfolio margin with IBKR, and I could talk a lot about that in a later video. But this, considering Google, high quality, not crazy volatile, not something like BMNR, it's not going to use a ton of margin for me. So it's not that difficult for me to put on a 300K position in Google. Definitely not as margin intensive or buying power intensive as it would be if I was doing the same kind of nominal trade value in like BMNR or MicroStrategy or something like that that's highly volatile and speculative. So I'm comfortable with the stop here. We are looking at, a few bucks, not even a few bucks. I should get this into my my spreadsheet. I'll do this in my own time, but I'll get this in the spreadsheet, and we'll see where we're at the end of the day here. But overall, I mean, I like taking these setups. Like we see the 5 minute, it made the turn, and we're purely aligned. 15 minute, it made the turn, and we're almost purely aligned, right? The 100 needs to come through that 200, and the 200 is just starting to go up. But, and this is key to what I was talking about this morning, we're in a heavy uptrend. Heavy uptrend on the daily. So we've got that daily tailwind as well. This is not something like SoFi. Is that going to bring up SoFi? SoFi, that's really kind of in what I would call a neutral trend right now on the daily, just sloppy. It's not something like DocuSign. Just trying to recall these offhand. It's in a very clear downtrend. So, it's more like DocuSign up here. And that's just going to provide extra, it's another point of confluence in hopefully making this trade a success. So that's all for now. See you soon. Hey guys, just doing some pushing through different names. A lot of stuff's weak today. A lot of stuff. Jumia is perking up though. I have a strong position as well in profit. We've already taken half off, but it's looking like it wants to break higher. I'm gonna get this order in and tell you guys what I'm looking at here. 25, just 2,000. I'm gonna get that in the other account too. Give me 1 second. Jumia. Oh, I don't even have it anymore in this account. Okay, well that's perfect. It gives me a chance to add that back. And I'm gonna put in like 5,000 here just because we don't have a position yet. We didn't get filled, huh? 25. I do this sometimes. I get so nitty on these entries. I go 30 here. It's going right now, but maybe it comes back. I'll show you what I'm looking at in 1 second. I'm going to push this up to 30. Hey, I don't care if it goes. It goes. It'd be nice for something to be moving in my direction today. I think we're down like 60. We'll take a look in a second. But, yeah, I saw it breaking up all of a sudden on the 15 minute. And you see, we're purely aligned on the 15 minute, which means, again, the 50, the 100, and the 200 are all kind of in that 45-degree angle, moving up and stacked on top. And then you have the 10, it's hard to see because we got so much, the 10 and the 20 crossing over, the 10 crossing over, but that's not enough in its own right. You really need a level that we're moving through. And to me, that level is kind of 13, 15, 13, 20, somewhere in this zone, right? We're clearly coming through that on volume. I'm just going to chase this up. Hopefully that gets filled. That doesn't get filled, whatever, let it get away. I'm going to adjust the other one on my other account as well. What do we got? 40. I'm being a little more loose with this because I have a position that's so nicely in profit. There it is. Okay. And you saw that just moved up my average cost basis. Got to change the stop now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, and confirm. But when we push out on the daily here, this thing's finally looking very, very, very constructive. It's got to get out of this zone. It's got to get out of this 13. Put some more distance between price and $13. And on a day when a lot of this smaller cap stuff isn't doing well or higher beta, I like to see this relative strength in Juno. And it just feels like a good day to be adding. So we're staying involved. Again, I don't want to get crazy. It's a holiday week, but this just seemed like a good opportunity to add some inventory on a name that's been strong. We have already booked some profits on. We already have our stop loss in profit, and we're probably going to be moving the stop up a little bit today, especially if this can get rolling. So just wanted to share as I'm going here. Hey guys, it's 9:30 my time, which is 12:30 Eastern time. You know, we've got 3.5 hours left in the market. It's nothing much is happening. But a couple of things happened for me. We just got filled on our AbbVie position, which is great. We were patient. It came down, to this zone we were looking for. So moving this up in list. I'm going to get the stop loss in here shortly. It will be 223.50. So down here well below Monday's lows. Gosh, yesterday that did. And below the 15-minute 200 period moving average. I like it. I told you, this is one of my favorite setups right now. It's going to be slow and steady. Easy going. Hey, and maybe we'll even get a dividend for holding this a couple weeks from now. So that's filled. Excuse me. Just out playing some basketball with the boys. They're home for like 3 weeks, so it's tough. But what else happened? We got stopped out of IDXX. And this is one of the trades we talked about on Sunday's video, where I knew I was jumping the gun a little bit here, trying to front run this. We're stopped out. So, I mean, technically, this is making the turn to the downside, right? If you were to inverse this chart right now, which you can easily do in TradingView, easily, watch it, can't invert chart, invert scale, you want to buy this, right? This is a beautiful breakout. But it's not an inverse chart. This is actually heading lower. So you would want to sell this, or at the very least, not be in it. Right? I'm not sure I want to battle a uptrend and on a daily time frame and sell it. So I'm not taking a short here, obviously, but I am using that as invalidation of my previous thesis on the trade. So that one goes into the ideas bucket for potentially another day. Quick update. Again, I said it's 9:30. We're down 61K. Doesn't feel great. Doesn't really hurt. We were up like 40 yesterday. So on the week so far, it's like negative 22, which, I have a feeling it's just going to be a flat week given the holidays and things just aren't moving. And that's okay. We are clearing some junk. We're hopefully putting on some higher quality trades. We got, out of IBIT, and Bitcoin's come back up a little bit. It is just flailing around. So clear some junk, let some stops hit, free up some capital, put them in new ideas, fresh ideas that, hopefully have some room to go. And, that's the name of the game. Cycle in and out, and don't get married to anything, and just obey the stops, obey the original thesis, and keep moving. So spinning our wheels so far this week, but that's okay. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, just wanted to check in again here. It's 10:21 a.m. So we've got 2 hours, 40 minutes until the close. It's a nasty day. It's soggy. I think one thing that we can say about this market right now this week, and it should be very obvious, right? Breakouts are not working. One example: CSIQ yesterday just puked it all back up, right? And even though I was feeling like, hey, yeah, we waited, we were patient with this entry, it's in hindsight now, it wasn't good at all. So we're close to getting stopped out there. I don't know if it'll survive or not. I don't really care at this point. But like the key takeaway is, let's not chase breakouts this week, and probably even next week. Maybe we'll see. But it's clear that they're not working. this isn't the only example. Jumia is a good one. I kind of chased up here, to be honest. I should have just waited. But in normal circumstances, I think in a normal market, I think this should have kept running. Luckily, I was only adding 20%, so it's not significant. And I think that the daily structure and everything is still very much intact. But it's just another example of a breakout that couldn't get legs. Google, getting there. It's trying to break out. I think if anything has a best chance of breaking out, it's the large caps right now. Lemonade is getting taken to the woodshed today, and unfortunately, that's costly for my position. 2,000 shares times $4 and almost 50 cents is $9,000. Gone, evaporated, and it's just kind of like a daily breakout that's failing, right? If we can't get above this 80 and hold it, we shouldn't probably be in it. And the stop right now is very, very close. It's just under the 20-day EMA, exponential moving average. What other breakouts have been failing today? I don't know. It's just a pattern I keep seeing, right? SanDisk. Smaller breakout that we tried to trade this morning, right? Up in here, or was it here? Here, initial entry right here at 6:45 a.m. candle, failed again. So we just can't get going on a lot of this stuff, which is not surprising. Like I said, people are checked out. I should be checked out, but I wanted to start this YouTube project this week and start kind of kicking off the rust and figuring it out. So we're going full steam by the new year. So just be careful out there. Don't chase. If you have to be trading, dumb down the size. Expand the time frame so you're not trading these 5-minute charts that are likely to swing back at you and stop you out. And just be smart. And that's all for now. See you probably for the close. That's it today. Okay, gang, we are coming up on the close here. So I'm going to start my daily routine. I'm just going to go through each of my holdings, see if we're moving stop losses up, anything like that. My guess is no, given the action today, but you never know. So let's look at it. Google, first on our list. I added 500 more shares. This is just looking really, really good. Not only on the low time frames, but also the daily is just starting to roll up. And let me get the 10 and 20 on here as well. These are the exponential moving averages, as you know, right now. But anyone who hasn't been watching, these didn't even cross over. They're moving up nicely. I don't see any reason why we can't clip that 320, go for new all-time highs here, as long as everything keeps behaving. And so far, right, things are behaving. Nasdaq's up, 0.44% today. We're closing up on that level I've been talking about. Santa supposedly comes tomorrow, right, for the remainder of the year. So we'll see. I'm hopeful, and it's working so far. ALB has been decent today. Remember yesterday in yesterday's video we moved that stop up. We've been trailing this nicely, so we've got a lot of cushion here. This shouldn't lose, can't lose. But we're in that gap, and I'm not going to move it today. I'm going to let these EMAs catch up and see if we can't just kind of keep following, because this trend has been massive. It's been really nice. I wish I would have stayed involved when I originally purchased way back down there. NTR, Nutrient, has been very strong today as well. Remember, we had that order down here that we tried to get add to our position, but we only got 548 shares. That's fine. I should move this stop up a little bit. The only reason I hesitate on stuff like this, I really want, and I said this yesterday, I want to see these targets, the 50% target hit first. We've got 2,000 shares up there. So I'm actually gonna give this a little more time. I'm gonna just let it keep doing its thing. It's acting nice. SNDK, we're having a little strong finish here. Remember this morning, I bought in on this push, thinking that we're gonna get a little breakout here. Didn't come. I noted today on Twitter as well that breakouts they're not happening. It's a low volume week. It's a holiday week. We're not seeing follow through on breakouts. So I think it's best if you're going to trade, obviously dumb down size, but don't chase breakouts, don't chase in general, and wait for it to pull back. And I'll show you on AbbVie, we've got that pullback there. So it's nice that this is closing better today. We're not moving. This is a new position today, so I'm hoping we can get up to the 262 there and get that 50% partial target. Roku has just been steady Eddie today. Steady Eddie. Kind of came down and bounced off the 10 EMA. We're hanging out. I've been patient with this one. We've got to break through this. Really what we need to get through are the earnings high that we put through in on Thursday, October 30th. So I think that'll happen. Just got to give it time. AbbVie, we put this on today. We stayed patient. We did get filled, and it still kind of trickled down. Not a big deal. I like the spot. You know, this vertical or horizontal at 228-ish, we noted earlier as having some significance. So as long as we can kind of stay above that, I'm hopeful. We've got a pretty wide stop here. So if we do start moving up, I will tighten that, but not today, friends, not today. Merck, this is the one, this is the one plaguing me because it's doing really, really well, but I wish that the display was right. Interactive Brokers is not showing it right. We're in at, and I can show you here, we're in at $100.12 average. So this has been like, there's the execution marks. This has been a great trade for us. There to see $100.12, 3,000 shares. Really great trade. And I don't have an initial target on this. So what I'm going to do on this one, Merck, is this is the risk dashboard. Risk dashboard is a spreadsheet. Once this number here starts getting a little untenable, maybe deep orange or red, we'll start taking some off if we don't feel like we can continue moving the stop loss up. So that's just kind of what I'm waiting on. Let it chill. It's my boomer stock, all right? And hopefully it just keeps on doing boomer things, whatever that is. Let's get these execution marks off here because they start getting cluttery. Palantir, you know, it's behaving today. It's behaving. You know, yesterday we missed that partial exit by like literally 7 cents, which is just, it is what it is. I don't complain too much about that stuff because I realize the same thing happens with stop losses, and nobody complains when a stop loss comes this close to getting hit and doesn't, right? So we're just chilling here, and hopefully maybe this week we'll get that profit and be able to take some off. ISRG looks good. It's an inside day, low volume. Every day is going to be low volume kind of right now, but inside day from yesterday. So hopefully just giving these EMAs and SMAs time to kind of roll up and catch up and push through this resistance and go for new highs here. That's the ideal scenario. So we're leaving the stop. We're not touching it. Jumia, another failed breakout, right? And like a schmuck, I tried to ride it. I tried to ride it today, added 20% to the position. So not crazy, but you know, in hindsight, of course, hindsight's always perfect, especially in trading. What did I just do to the camera? In hindsight, you know, I wish I would have waited, but we don't have the benefit of hindsight. Tesla has been one of the Mag 7 that hasn't really done much today, but it's been, you know, here's Mag 7 and NVIDIA's leading, Amazon, Google, Meta, Apple, Microsoft. Tesla's the only red one. But, you know, it's hard to nitpick here because Tesla's been on such a sweet run lately. We're getting a little more room if I wanted to bump the stop. We are just trailing these last 400 shares here. I'm not going to touch it though. I'd like to see us kind of start pushing through 500 and then start really pushing the stop off. I think that's going to happen. It's just kind of, it's such a psychological magnet kind of level right now. I'd have a hard time seeing it not happen. Twilio kind of doing its thing as well, just chilling, you know, low volume day, consolidating, letting these EMAs catch up. I'm not moving the stop. I'd like to see the 20 get up here, start encompassing this low from 370 or 137, 138. App, resilient. It's down a little bit, but you can see it came down here, 711, 712 area, and nice candle. You know, we can talk about this later, but I don't put a lot of stock in like individual candles, like, or candle formations. It's more about the psychology. If you look at this and just say, okay, well, what happened here? Well, this stock sold off and then it got bought up hard enough where we're closing basically flat. So that tells me there's enough demand down here where, you know, I wouldn't be betting on this stock going down. And today we had what they might call like a hanging man up here, but we're having another kind of some kind of doji candle here, and
it looks like we'll probably just keep going higher. So you can get like, oh, fear mongering. There's a SPY monthly hanging man that everyone was talking about end of last month, and I just don't see these things as a big deal in a vacuum. They need confirmation. They always need confirmation. So rant over. Sorry. NXT, it's in the solar sector, so it's getting hit as well today. However, holding up much better than something like CSIQ. We'll get to that beauty. Still trying to get this thing. I think I have it drawn on the 4 hour. Yeah, still trying to get this thing to roll up. Yeah, roll up. And it's having trouble, but it does seem to be, we're having bigger volume days than we are, bigger volume days on green days than we are on red days. So, and we continue to kind of compress in this area. And it seems like the least amount of friction is higher. So we'll see if that's right. Market's closed now. We'll look at the P&L in a second. Reddit, I don't even want to get started. I should not be in this trade. I've covered that the day or two ago. I talked about taking it off this morning if you were watching the early part of the video, and I didn't. So there's not much to say about this except now I am stuck. I feel like an idiot, and I'm just going to stop there. I don't want to be in that trade. I should be out. Zoom, kind of frustrating. I've been patient with this. Big down day today. Zoom, Reddit, Lemonade, CSIQ really are the ones that are beating me up and taking the majority of my P&L today down. But again, staying patient. There's really nothing broken about this structure. And I'm just kind of waiting for it to roll up and out of this big, long, multi-year base. So remaining patient. And Lemonade, and disappointing day. This thing's just kind of been disappointing trying to get out of this. It's much like Zoom has been. But what I did want to show you, I'm not complaining that my stop came within, what's the low, 77.54. My stop came 3 cents, guys. It's like, you can complain and cry all you want about a profit target not getting hit, but are you going to complain and cry about your stop not getting hit when that happens? Because it will happen just as frequently, right? It will happen just as frequently. It's not to say this can't get taken out tomorrow, but that end of day volume was encouraging. Don't know why that came through, but I'll take it. And if this survives, I'll feel great. It's awesome. So let's not complain when our stops or if you're going to complain when your profits don't get hit, you should complain when your stops don't get hit too, right? But you won't do that. Nobody would. Why would you? CSIQ, oh, what a mess. I felt really good this morning. If you go back and look, that we were getting a chance to get back into this or get into this after missing it yesterday, and it just kept pushing lower. And again, came very, very close to my stop here. Well, at this point, I think that this trade is going to come off. It's going to hit the stop. And you might say, Travis, well, if you think that, why not just take it off now and save yourself the last few bucks? It's because I don't know, right? This could easily reverse. I am humble enough to know that I do not know. And so I'm just going to let the trade plan work as, it was planned. And we'll see what happens. So that's it. Nothing really moved in terms of stops. We're going to let it all sit. Let's look at the P&L today. Not as bad. That's the first time I looked at it since we were down 75K. So 64,000. It doesn't feel good, guys. I don't mean to be like making jokes about it. It's a lot of money. It's meaningful to me. It's meaningful to, I think, a lot of people. And all I can say is that you have to trust your ability. You have to trust your data. You have to trust that you come back from days like this and you can do the work. So I'm not letting it get to me. Tomorrow's another day, it's a fresh day. It's only a half day, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens. The good stuff is that, again, the P&L came off, Reddit, Zoom, Lemonade, CSIQ. We had unrealized gains, about 10K in BMNR and about 10-ish, 12-ish in Bitcoin, IBIT. So that got evaporated, 20K-ish there, the rest in these kind of names, and the rest kind of scratched out between, everything NXT and up to Goop. So yeah, it happens. I wanted to share this today. I wanted to let people know that, not every day is all the crap that you see on Twitter or you see on Wall Street bets and everybody winning. It's not like that. So we move on. My kids still love me. Promise you that. They don't even care. My wife still loves me. Life goes on. There's always tomorrow. So it's never worth beating yourself up about, because if you do, you're gonna perpetuate the issue, and you don't want to do that. So get some sleep, get some space from the charts, and do it all again tomorrow. All right, guys, and I'll see you in the morning. It's only a half day, but I will be here, and we'll do it again.